Hello, good morning and welcome to a very impromptu casual video. I've literally just got out the shower, hence my wet knotty hair which I need to comb through. I seem to be getting a bit of a sore throat, don't know if we can hear that. Probably from going on a night out and screaming too much. Love that for me. I'm in my robe, and yeah, this is filmed on Monday when you guys are watching this, even though maybe you're watching it on Tuesday, or Wednesday, or Thursday, or Friday, or Saturday, or Sunday. But yeah, I just wanted to do a very chilled video, and I realised that I haven't actually done a Q&A since like one of my first ever videos, like a proper Q&A. I never really do Q&As, but I love watching people's Q&As, so I thought, you know, I'd ask on Instagram and we'd just have a little chit chat. I also woke up this morning feeling really like, you know when you wake up and you just feel really like deep and like in thought and you don't know why? I feel like that today, so I thought that I would, oh geez, uploaded a cute airport photo, wow. Anyway, I've forgotten what I was saying, but yeah. We're gonna chit chat, and I'm also gonna put on some little Peter Thomas Roth eye mask thingies. Gonna pop on some moisturiser. Gonna pop on some detangler for my hair. It's all going on. It's all going on. I need these after my lack of sleep recently. You know when you just need like a good night's sleep of like many hours. That is what I need right now, but we're powering on through. Come on, life is worth living. Life is for living, so we'll sleep when we're dead. Okay, so where to start? How long has it taken you to be truly happy, and are you truly happy? Okay, so it's funny because I feel like we all get those days where we're like, OMG, life's amazing, I couldn't change anything, it's fabulous. And those days are fabulous days, and I had one of those days on like Saturday night / like the morning of yesterday. But then also it's not realistic to be like that every single day. Like we can have a great life and we can love life, but we're not necessarily going to be like, OMG, my life is absolutely incredible every single day. Because even like little things happen that like bug us, or we get irritated by things, and that's totally normal. So would I say I'm truly happy? Yes, I'm very happy, but I also get my days where, a bit like today, I just feel a little bit, you know, I just feel a little bit like glum and you don't know why. Those really random moods, but I think that's just hormones. It's what life's like. You could literally be the happiest person on the planet, everything in life could be perfect, and some days you just wake up and you don't feel your best, and like that's okay. If we didn't have those days, you wouldn't realise when we're on like our sorry, like peak highs. I'm also going to drink some water because my throat is dying a day. That was my alarm to wake up, and I have already tidied my entire bedroom, packed the trip I'm about to leave for, and had a shower because I got up when Kobe went to work. Anyway, so yeah, I do think that happiness is a journey, and you can't just expect one day to wake up and feel like everything's amazing and everything's perfect overnight. It is like a slow process. Also to be happy within yourself, to be happy by yourself, to be happy in your own company and not always need people around, because however amazing it is to have other people add to your happiness, you need to also be happy by yourself, with yourself, because when those people go, you're just left with yourself. Someone, oh, who was it? Someone read a quote like, you're never going to spend more time with anyone in your life than yourself, so you need to be happy with yourself. Deep in the very first question. Okay. What's been the best thing that's happened in your life so far? Now that is literally like the most difficult question to answer. I feel like your like basic go-to answer would be like being born, because then I wouldn't have had this life. But I actually think think that this sounds superficial until you hear my meanings. I actually think the best thing that I've done in life was do pageants. Now, you'll think about it like, oh, winning and competitions and crowns, and that's not at all the reason. Even if I've never won a pageant, I would still say pageants were the best thing that's ever happened to me, because without pageants I would not be the person I am today. Like, even my dad, who wasn't really for pageants when I used to do them, he says to me now, like, you wouldn't be half the person you are without them, so I'm so pleased that you did do them. I was already a confident person, but they just really like brought me out of my shell and like proved to me like you can be yourself, you can be as weird as you want to be, and it's wonderful. And I would never have started YouTube if it wasn't for pageants, because I never would have plucked up the courage to actually do videos. Like, it's absolutely crazy. But then also, so then I could say like YouTube is the best thing that's ever happened to me, because it truly is. Oh my goodness me. But then I wouldn't have done YouTube, most probably, without pageants. So pageants was like the first stepping stone to a lot of things in my life, and it just proved to me that you can be different and it's totally okay, and it's the most accepted community. Like, as in, to the outside world it's not the most accepting community, but when you're in that community everyone is so accepting of you that you just feel totally comfortable and you can just do what you want to do and be who you want to be, which I do think in this day and age people in like the normal world, the non-pageant world, are becoming a lot more accepting. But yeah, there's still some room for improvement for sure. We're definitely not the perfect planet, we're definitely not the perfect generation, we're definitely not the perfect people, but we're all learning, aren't we? How to deal with fake bitchy friends. Now, I went to an all-girls school, and actually the other night I bumped into one of my old like friends at school that I did art with, and it was really funny because we were talking about how we're so glad that we left the school that we went to because it was just so bitchy. And I do think that was because it was an all-girls school. So although it's not brilliant, I do always say that it did teach me for life how to deal with girls, how to deal with bitchy people, because I was faced with it every single day. How to deal with bitchy people. Now, I think we all have our moments where we're bitchy, and that just seems to be part of like a girly nature. Like, it doesn't make it acceptable, but I do think girls seem to be quite a bit more bitchy in my experience than guys. It just seems to be inbred within a lot of us. And yeah, I can probably be bitchy as well, but from like a bitchy standpoint, how I always see it is, if you have something that's really on your chest and you need to get it off your chest and it's really driving you crazy and you need to say something, say it, but say it to someone who is never going to go and tell that other person, who is never going to let that slip. If you have something on your mind that you need to say, that you need to get rid of, then you need to say it to someone that you can trust, that it won't go any further, and then you've said your piece, you've got it off your chest. And that person, if they don't need to hear what you've got to say to them, if it's not constructive criticism, then there's no point in them hearing about it. So you might as well just tell someone that it can stay there. That person is not going to go on and tell the person that you are bitching about, and it just stays in that little circle, the trust circle. But then dealing with bitchy girls. Now, I think I was actually quite good at dealing with bitchy girls. I never went down to their level, and I think that's the thing. Don't try and fight bitchiness with bitchiness. Just rise above it, which is so much easier said than done, I know. But I dealt with it all the time at school, but I literally just took it on the chin, which I'm quite proud of myself at the time for not starting a ruckus and not causing loads of drama. But now I'm so pleased that I did that, because it's just made me so much stronger as a person. So it's a bit like that quote, like, everyone's in your life for a reason, to teach you something, to help you grow, to, I don't even know the quote, but you know what I mean. And those bitchy people, that it is just a reflection of their unhappiness. It's nothing to do with you, so just realise that. And I know that school can be quite a toxic environment at times, so you just need to try your best to remove yourself from the toxic situations and just not get caught up in all the dramas, and just know who your good friends are, stick with those people, and love those people, and that's really what matters. And those bitchy people, like, you're gonna leave school, you're never gonna speak to them again, you're never gonna see them again. So don't let one person affect your entire life. What age do I want to move out? So I was saying to Kobe the other day, I reckon in about 3 years I'll move out, but I don't know, because I wouldn't necessarily want to move out and live by myself, so I'd need to live with someone. But it's really difficult to say. I also used to think that if you didn't move out by the time you were 18 that you'd failed at life, and now of course I totally get it and I realise that's not a thing. But I don't know, life could be, sorry, I'm so knackered. Life could be different in 6 months. Like, my life couldn't be any more different to when it was last year. So a year ago I was in America doing pageants. Like, you just don't know where life's going to take you. So I think I say 3 years, but it could be a year, it could be 5 years. I really, really don't know, but we'll see. I want to get on the property ladder at some point, so yeah. Is life anything like you had pictured it growing up? The funny thing is, especially when I was at school, I always felt like everyone thought I was gonna do something different or be someone, or I always felt this tremendous pressure to, like, be successful, because everyone seemed to always just expect it of me. And yeah, there was quite a lot to, like, deal with, because I always was just panicking that I wasn't going to do anything with my life, and I wasn't going to be happy, and people's expectations were going to be wrong. And it's not even as if I'm someone that cares about what people think. It was more that those people were putting ideas in my head that I really wanted to achieve something. And, like, I know none of us really pat ourselves on the back too often, but I am proud of myself, of how much I've done and how much I've achieved at my age. And who knows where life's going to take me, who knows in 5 years time what I'm going to have done and what I'm going to have achieved. But it's definitely not what I ever expected it to be. I just had, when I was younger, my plan of going to uni and living in London, and it all couldn't be any more different. And yeah, I'm not sure I could hack it living in London. I think I'd like to do it for like a month. I need to go back to bed, wow. But otherwise, yeah. I think I also need to sit upright, because that's probably putting me to sleep. And these eye masks, I might take these bad boys off. They're also creasing every time I'm, like, moving my face, so it's a lot to deal with. But yeah, life couldn't be any more different than I think anyone could have expected. I feel like people always knew I was going to be a bit different, but we didn't know how and we didn't know why. Someone's asked, do your sponsored Instagram posts get less likes than your normal posts? And yes, that is a thing. That is an industry standard. Don't mind me, I'm just going to use some mane and tail detangler, so I don't pull out any more of my hair. So yes, that is just like a normal thing. And I think there's many reasons. So first off, a lot of people that see these posts think that person's getting paid for this. They don't actually like that item. They don't actually like what they're advertising. So I'm not gonna like it to prove a point, which I get if your people you follow don't actually like their products that they're advertising, but I most definitely always do like the products that I'm advertising. So yeah, that's one of the reasons. Also another reason, which I don't think is proven, but it's a lot of like discussions, is that Instagram shadow posts that have hashtag ad in them, or just the word ad and things like that. Now obviously we don't know how true that is, but if you think about it from a business perspective, if you can pay Instagram to push your post, if they show it to less people, you're more inclined to push paid partnership and pay. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can, on Instagram, I've never done it before, I don't ever wish to do it, but you can pay for Instagram to like market out your post, so it's sponsored. So it's not like buying Instagram followers, because it's all through Instagram, but it's more like paying to reach a wider audience, and then in turn you'd get some followers. But I personally don't ever want to paid partnership a post, because I don't know, I'd just rather work with the audience that I have and not kind of like buy into Instagram's agenda. I don't know, I might be wrong, but that's just how I see it. Have you ever thought about getting married and starting a family at a young age? Now the funny thing is, when me and Anya were growing up, we always thought that although Anya's 2 years older, I'd be the first one to get married. I'd be the first one to have babies. And actually I don't think I will. I do think she will be first. Because, I don't know, we're both very career orientated. Because obviously I'm self-employed, my career is my life. And there's so much that I want to do before I have babies that, like, oh my god, I see little kids and I'm like, oh my god, I want you so much, you're so cute. But I wouldn't actually have a kid right now. It's not right for my life right now. But I know so many people that are having babies and moving in together, and it's amazing to see. But I'm just not quite ready, and I don't want to look back when I'm 40 and think I should have done more, I should have done this, I should have done that before I had kids. Because although obviously you can continue living your life once you have kids, it is a very different mentality, and I want to be able to like devote all my time and all my love to my children. And I don't mean literally all my time, like obviously I have a life, but yeah, I'm not ready yet, and I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Wow, someone asked, can someone ever be happy with so much evil in the world? Wow, that's hit it deep, really deep. Now, I'm gonna say yes, because there is a lot of evil in this world, there is a lot of bad people, there is a lot of bad things happening. But when things are out of your control and you can't necessarily do anything about them, it's kind of easier to turn a blind eye to it, which I know doesn't solve problems, but if you live halfway around the world and you can't personally help to stop war, sadly there's not too much point focusing your life on that and making yourself unhappy. There is so much unhappiness in the world that I think it's even more important to make sure that you're happy and build your own happiness, because we don't need any more unhappiness in this planet, so we might as well push to have more happiness and acknowledge that horrendous things are happening, but also push forward for a better world and more happiness, rather than getting bogged down in what is already happening. Do I think everything happens for a reason? And 1,001%. I really do think everything does happen for a reason, and I've always believed that, and I always think however hard something might be at the time, you'll learn so much from it, and that's the important bit. Life is full of so many lessons, and you need to make those mistakes, or not even mistakes, you might not think it's a mistake at the time, but yeah, everyone comes into your life for a reason, everything happens for a reason, and some reasons we don't get until much later on in life. By the way, I'm going to pop on some moisturiser. This is the Hangover Good to Go SPF 25 moisturiser. I have not used this before. Let's see what this turns out like. Oh, it smells fabulous. Wow. Okay. So, someone has asked, I'm 19, have been with my boyfriend for nearly 3 years, and I feel insecure about my low sex. And then I think that is going to say drive, but it's cut out. Okay. Now, I feel like most people probably wouldn't discuss this on YouTube, but you guys know me. I don't really give two shiznits, because it's things that everyone goes through. So, I think in life, people go through stages where they're much more interested in sex than other stages, and like that's okay, especially if you've been with someone for 3 years. Obviously I've not had that, I've not been with people for a prolonged period of time yet. My longest relationship has been a year, and I get completely where you're coming from. I think it's just one of those things that you need to discuss with your boyfriend, because maybe it can be helped, maybe something can be changed, maybe something can be done to make you more interested, but if not, it might just be a passing phase that you just don't know. It just needs to be discussed, and it might just be a lot of things in life, and a lot of emotions are down to our hormone levels. So don't get stressed about it. Sit down, have an adult chat about it, and yeah, even I'm sure you could like speak to a doctor or something like that. I don't really know obviously the technicalities, but a lot of people go through life and sometimes have occasions where they have a really low sex drive, and you know, that's fine. Some people just have a low sex drive in general. That's okay. I don't know what I am. Can I just be a normal? Is that a thing? Who knows? Do I think it's harder to find a good relationship in this generation? 100,000 billion%. I think we are the generation of, oh, they're not completely perfect, let's swipe left, let's move on. Or is it swipe right? No, swipe left is get rid of them, isn't it? And we're a generation of always thinking that we can get more and do better, which is amazing. But when it comes to relationships, that's really difficult, because I think back in my parents' era, you worked at your relationship. Obviously nowadays, the divorce rate is so ridiculously high, it's absolutely crazy. I think it's 1 in 2 couples get divorced, which we all know is one of my biggest fears in life. But that kind of lives into back in like our grandparents' era. That wasn't really a thing because you worked at your relationship and you got through the tough times. Whereas in this generation, it's kind of like, oh, we had an argument, there's a tough time. There might be someone better out there, someone more exciting, someone that I haven't had an argument with yet. But if you use that mentality, like, you're always going to reach the point in a relationship with someone where you go through challenges and you face things. And if you just run out and back out, you're going to be doing that on an endless cycle, and you're going to have to move on to a new person every single time you get to that stage. So yeah, it doesn't really achieve anything. So I do think it's very difficult to find a relationship in this day and age, because F-boys are prevalent and everyone's just unsure. They're like, oh, could there be more? It's a bit like what was Wes's thing, I'm happy but could I be happier? That sums up our generation's dating, which isn't the right mentality. I'm now going to use the La Roche-Posay Tolerant Ultra 8 spray. Get that hydration in. I should also grab my body moisturiser whilst I answer one more question. Let's have a look. Have I ever had a really intense breakup? I'm going to grab my moisturiser and I'll be back. Now I've got my Pia Body and Paisley Apocari Coconut Vanilla Body Lotion, free of parabens. This is from TK Maxx. It was £6.99 for this huge thing. And when my mother says I don't moisturise, sorry, a lot of that is used up, so suck on it. But me and an intense breakup. So I've said bits about my previous relationship, but I haven't really gone into detail because I know they don't want me to, which is totally fine. But yes, I have been through a very intense breakup, and it was shit at the time, but I learned so much from it. Like, everything happens for a reason, and I think we've all got to go through a bit of a crappy breakup once in our life to learn how not to behave. And I actually think that I made the breakup a lot worse than it needed to be, because I was young and stupid and said things that I shouldn't have said. But I've learned from that now. You know, in the moment we say lots of silly things that we don't mean, or we say things that we shouldn't say. And like, when I look back at things that I've said, I'm really aware of, like, it's a bit like the whole bitchy thing. Like, it didn't need to be said. I might have thought it, but they didn't need to know that. So yeah, I did make it worse for both of us. Probably more them than me, because in my head I was relieved that I got everything off my chest, but it doesn't necessarily work like that, because then you put your shit onto somebody else's chest, which they don't need to have as well. But yeah, everything is a learning curve, everything is a big experience, and I'm glad it happened, because we weren't meant to be together. And I think when we were together, they thought we would be together forever. And I think when we were together, we always spoke about it like it was going to last forever, but so young, so young, so different people, and yeah, not every single relationship is going to work out, which sounds really sad when I say it, but it's the truth, isn't it? Oh, anyway, I've got a good egg, so touch wood. Anyway, so that has been my deep and meaningful Q&A. Whilst I've kind of done like a mini skincare routine for the morning as well. It's now 10:08. I need to go and get my bus at 11:45. So I've actually got quite a bit of time, but I need to go and tidy my dressing room. So I'm going to love you guys and leave you. I will do a Q&A soon, or like a Mr. and Mrs. With Kobe. So let me know which one you want me to do. You want me to do a Q&A, or a like who takes longer in the shower, or a who's a bigger nightmare sort of thing. So yeah, let me know, that will be coming soon, and let me know any other videos you want to see. I'm going to try and pre-record quite a bit for the next few months, just so like when I go away I can actually have some time to like chill, which we know I'm not very good at. But anyway, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys, love you, bye.